Hey, this is Merritt from ASG Unlimited. We're proud to announce that we are now partnering with JL Media today. ASG Unlimited was established in 2004. ASG Unlimited provides brand consistency across all media types. In addition to signage, ASG Unlimited also offers logo apparel, promotional items, exhibits, displays, and vehicle graphics, awning, and a full-service install and repair team for all our product lines. With our graphic design department, ASG Unlimited works directly with our clients to develop their ideal image or update their current marketing, all to ensure brand identity and image across all media types and marketing material. ASG Unlimited is located at 3747 South Meridian Street, Indianapolis, Indiana 46217. Call Merritt at 317-786-SIGN. That's 317-786-7446. We can't wait to help you with all your design, signs, and marketing solutions.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got.
Welcome back to another episode of Indie Brew Battle. Today we are at Taxman Brewing Company down in Bargersville, Indiana. A little bit of a drive for us Northsiders, but it's well worth the travels, I'll tell you. This is Brian. I'm the general manager of the 86th Street Pub. Very happy to be with you. To my left, Mr. Jordan.
Nice to be here as well. Yeah, you mentioned a little bit of a drive, but I mean, I'm perfectly fine driving for the beer in this place. I mean, I'm happy to be here right now. Very excited.
Absolutely. Joe, how you doing down there, brother?
Doing well. Glad to be here. I love the tour. Can't wait to talk about it.
Right on. Lindsay Love, how you doing?
Hey. Welcome to my side of the city, everybody. Me with my 15-minute drive.
Oh, lucky you. I'd be here every day.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Lola, how are you doing, dear?
I'm great. It is a bit of a drive, but it's awesome. Like, this whole facility is, like, pretty impressive. Like, I was kind of in the middle of cornfields. I was like, where is this place? And then it's here. It's really awesome looking.
It's here, it's heaven, and we are
Yes.
stoked to be a part of it. Merritt Day is also joining us from ASG Unlimited. How are you doing today?
I'm excellent, Brian. How are you?
I'm excellent,
I'm with
too.
Lindsay. This is my neck of the woods. I could literally walk here.
Oh, that's even better
And
than
I'm a
me.
little partial to Taxman.
Oh, that's dangerous. if I could walk here, I'd be in bad shape.
Yes,
kidding.
I can walk home.
Yeah. I'd be here every day.
Well, very cool. Merritt, is there anything fun happening at ASG this week? Anything you want to chit-chat and talk about?
Yes, guys. So we just delivered all the shirts for 9 restaurants of the Stacked Pickle. So go check them out. They are awesome and very funny slogans on the shirt. So you'll definitely want to pick one of those up. Where we're staying busy as always. Taxman keeps us hopping all the time. I know they just got finished up with a really large festival in Colorado, I'm pretty sure. So if you guys need anything for marketing, you guys know where to find us. We're at 3747 South Meridian Street, just a little south of downtown. You can give us a call at 317-786-SIGNS. Again, it's 317-786-7446 and ask for me, Merritt Day.
All righty. Well, thank you, Merritt. Thank you, ASG Unlimited. And let's go ahead and jump into this, guys. First impressions of the brewery.
What stands out is that barrel room. We walked back and saw their barrel aging facility, and very impressive. So many barrels, and it smelled amazing. Both the sour room and the bourbon barrel room back there. I've been lucky enough to have a lot of their bourbon barrel beers and their sours, and they're all pretty fantastic. But seeing that room was like, wow, it's inspiring there.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that sour room for a second?
Let's do it.
Oh my God, that's like you walk in the door and there's just barrels upon barrels
Yes.
upon barrels of sours, which, if you haven't guessed by now, I absolutely adore.
Yes.
So I'm extremely excited for those to start coming out.
Right on. For those of you who are not aware, Taxman is a Belgian, almost entirely Belgian-based brewery. They do a couple IPAs, but mostly they do Belgian styles, and they do them properly. They're using Belgian beet sugar, all like traditional ingredients. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of great beer. Need to check them out. We are joined now by Mr. Colin, formerly the head brewmaster, and now kind of the, let's call you brew overlord today.
I'll go with brew or overlord here. Yeah, I got tired of picking up all the grain bags, so I hired someone else to do all the dirty work for me.
Good man.
It's a wise manager right there.
Right on. Colin, why don't you tell us a little about the brewery, a little about the history, and about how you guys got started here?
Sure thing. So Taxman Brewing has been around since really the beginning of 2014. It was actually the brainchild of Nathan and Leah Holzbush, along with a couple of other partners of theirs. They actually worked out in Belgium for about 2.5 years for a separate career, and ended up coming back to Greenwood to pursue business opportunities, but really did miss the Belgian feel that they experienced during their travels. And so Nathan had always wanted to open a brewery, and so he did. But unfortunately, at the time, he didn't have a brewmaster or any head brewer of any sort. Luckily, I happened to marry his sister about 6 months prior to him opening the brewery.
Lucky him or lucky you?
I was going to say, I think it's a two-way street here. We both took a big chance on each other. My background, I had not professionally brewed prior to that. I'd been a home brewer for almost 10 years at that point. And I had studied professionally and was also doing a lot of controls work in a separate career. But it was a big gamble, but it paid off, I think, for both of us, and we've had a great time since. So, yeah, we've been brewing on-site since November 20th of 2014. Prior to that, we did do some contract brewing over at Cutter's to kind of try out some recipes and kind of get the buzz together. And actually, the gastropub itself opened on September of 2014. So we just celebrated our second anniversary just a few weeks ago.
That's awesome, man. What'd you guys do for that?
So we created so our first batch was called Declaration, because we were declaring ourselves as one of our slogans. And it's a Belgian double IPA. And actually we did hops because it helped us test out our system and make sure we got our hop utilization under control. Because typically Belgian styles are not very hoppy, so it's very antithesis of what we normally do. But we did brew a second anniversary version of that. It is, I always joke, it's the single most expensive beer we ever make, but also it is quite tasty for those who enjoy hops and want to try a little bit of a Belgian style. It's a great combination of that. On top of that, we also did a Kill the Keg competition where I allowed all the brewers and brew staff in the back ended up actually making a special keg that night, and we competed to see which one blew first. Unfortunately, mine was 4 ounces below my one of my brewers, Mitch Frolicky. So,
good luck living that one down, man.
I was going to say, he brought a lot of friends that day. I guess he waded in. But, no, we had a great time that day.
Nice. That sounds awesome, man. That sounds really cool. I'll tell you what, having only been here for the first time and only been, it's not even an hour yet, I love this brewery. I think the build-out is beautiful. It's got a really nice warehouse feel, but it's very clean. The art is clean. The paint is clean. No dust anywhere that I could see. It's being as open. Yeah, good job. Good guy. I got a good cleaning guy today. But no, it's a beautiful brewery. It's a great brew pub. Your customers seem to have a very it's got a very real local feel to the brew pub itself, which is one of my favorite parts about going to each of these breweries, and it's cool to see that in a neighborhood that I've never been to before, just to see how the people enjoy your beer, enjoy your food, which looks amazing. I can't wait to dive into it.
It's like an industrial rustic chic type.
Pick
like 3 things that don't really fit together. But you've got the exposed wood beams, you've got the brick, you've got the concrete, all the reclaimed wood. It's got a really cool feel to it.
I hear this used to be a fastener company.
It was, yeah. So we, if anyone has seen Taxman Brewing or will be visiting us, the front of the building, the white part, is actually the original nut and bolt distributor down in Bargersville. And there was also a back of the building that was in the same position as the current existing building, but the ceilings weren't high enough. We needed some more space back there. So that is new build right there. But the front of the house, we tried to kind of utilize the inner beauty, as actually my colleague Leah will say. She was actually one of the original planners and is Nathan's wife, and you can really see that kind of personal touch with the front of house build out, because it tried to really utilize the inside space as it existed, and not just buy everything around it and make it look pretty.
I have to ask, what was the inspiration for that giant lounge chair where, or I should say booth, right up front, where the back of it goes all the way up to the awesome sign of the, I guess
Mascot.
Yeah, the mascot.
I was going to say, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's a good Leo question because she was the inspiration of that. Where she found that, I couldn't tell you. I wish I did.
It was
But
very clever. I thought that was neat. I mean, I'm looking at it from the
very nice
balcony and
touch.
thinking, what the heck? What is this? You know, this is pretty cool.
I'm
Yeah, I
curious. I mean, where the logo came from and the name of Taxman.
So it's a play off of nothing in life is certain other than death and taxes. I'm paraphrasing there. I'm always bad at it, but yeah, the popular phrase by Benjamin Franklin. And also the reason I know part of it is because we've also had a once-a-year release of a special beer in April called Death and Taxes, and we base the whole thing off of that. But yeah, that was the original inspiration. And yeah, it seemed natural, and it's been a lot of fun playing around with it. I do a lot of the illustrations along with a graphic designer of ours, and it's a very fun, easy, cool theme to play along with.
I mean, the branding here really stands out to me. I mean, that's one of my favorite things about it is that logo. And you walk in here and you see that skull with the top hat, and so it just stands out immediately.
It's very hip.
Yeah.
I think the beer names are also quite interesting.
Oh, agreed.
That's the hardest part.
I believe that.
The beer,
have
you
so
can brew
many.
the beer, yeah. But coming up with the name. Yeah, we do try to keep thankfully, there's not a lot of breweries that want to use financial and accounting terms, so we're usually in good
No
shape.
way.
But it is actually, the mainstays were originally created by Nathan and Leah. So you'll have like the gold standard, deduction, exemption, qualified, withheld. They came up with those. And Nathan actually came up with the original recipes as well. We've since tweaked and everything, but they were originally his. But yeah, since then it's been a massive group effort trying to be clever, and it usually requires copious amounts of beer before really any of the juices get flowing.
Googling tax law. I can only imagine how exciting that is.
We all have
That just
we all
sounds
have
thrilling.
bookmarks.
Right on.
Any names you regret?
We vet them pretty hard, and I don't regret a single one, thankfully.
That's always good.
We have realized that some of them we are too clever for ourselves, because then we send them out, no one knows what de minimis actually is. That type of.
I mean, it's a good beer. I mean, that's the important thing, right?
Well, that's the
yeah.
thing. But honestly, it fits the beer. For instance, de minimis was a petite saison that we did at the time. It was a one-off, and it worked out. But I could see the confusion with it sometimes.
Well, very cool. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to get in on some of these beers, especially
Let's
because this
do it.
first one is one of my favorites brewed in this state. It is La Maison Farmhouse Ale. I'm just going to read the description for you here. A generous dose of a hunter's honey, earthy undertones, and fragrant notes of citrus, grapefruit, and pine bitterness. Now, this farmhouse ale is a great example of what the Belgian farm workers would drink back in Belgium years and years and years ago. This is the style that they would drink, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Right on.
Yeah, historically the farmhouse style was lower in ABV, of course, because trash workers obviously don't do great work. But historically, that was the case. Since then, the style has gone up higher in ABV. Ours is 7% now.
Right on.
Yeah, I know I've had a white wine version of this, which is phenomenal. And so I'm going to keep going back that sour room all day long today.
I saw a Zinfandel
Yeah, I
down
saw
there,
Zin.
I think.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm so
I'm
intrigued.
impatient.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, I can't even keep track of what's in there now. I just basically stare at a computer with the barrel log, and it's just 100, 150 different barrels of different beer sitting in them, and that's how I basically spend my day.
Yeah, and he's not kidding, folks. There were hundreds of barrels in there. We
Plural.
went the first room. We're like, oh, that's a lot of barrels. That's nice. And he's like, oh, let's go to the barrel room. What? And then,
Barrel room?
Oh my gosh,
We're not
it
here
was
already?
Crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
man.
it's a very clever use of an old firehouse. I mean, it's really
Yeah.
who would have thought? I like that you kept the plaque up above the door and everything. Like, if you didn't know, basically you would think it was just a firehouse. But a good place to go get some beer, out of the old cellar here. But it's not even a cellar. It's and what I think is awesome is it's right across from the granary. So one of the comments I made during the tour was it would be awesome if you could pipe the grain right across. But there's not a lot of the types of grain you'd use to brew alcohol here, farmed in Indiana yet.
Yeah, there is some. We do try to use it actually in our harvest ale once a year, and actually there's a great maltster Sugar Creek malt up in Lebanon, Indiana, and I know several breweries around this area use them. But yeah, unfortunately we have a show feed place. It's a great show feed, but yeah, we can't use it in our beer. But yeah, we were very fortunate to actually have that fire station there because there's not a lot of businesses that can utilize an old fire station. However, we were able to put in a big cooler for when we were doing cans, and we were able to. It had the perfect rooms for us to do separate sour and barrel aging programs.
Now you guys bottle and you can. Do you can and bottle everything, or is it just specific things? I know you can get La Maison in cans. Usually deduction I've seen around. What else?
So we typically can our mainstays. So La Maison, our Saison, Gold Standard, our Abbey Blonde, Deduction, our Double, Exemption, our Triple, and then seasonally Hop Collector, our Belgian IPA, and our Wit Held, our Belgian-style wit. Also, we do usually one seasonal. Currently, you guys will probably see on shelves either our Default, our Biergard, aged with cinnamon and French oak, or our Bean Counter, which is a Belgian brown ale that is aged with vanilla, cocoa nibs, and most importantly, coffee.
And it is
Very good
delicious.
coffee.
I just had one. It's amazing.
The Default is one of my, it's one of my favorites. It's so good.
Bean Counter was bottled last year, right? And it's this year's can.
That's correct. Yeah. So we only started canning August of last year, and again, that was we were just trying to get our mainstays in at the time. We do use mobile canning and bottling. We do have our own small bottling line, but it can't keep up with nearly all the bottles we do. So bomber-wise, we do sell our qualified quad in bombers as well as several of our wood age series. We just are releasing our barrel-aged quad and double, as well as a series of kettle sour ales and our cherry deduction actually was just mostly released in bombers.
Right on.
Yum. That is a really good beer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That
What do you
is
think
a
about this,
a
team?
really good beer.
Yeah, it's super refreshing.
Yeah.
It's got just a little bit of spice on the end. Typical of Belgian beers to have that nice coriander, a little bit of black pepper,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's almost like it'd be good like after a workout, being the lifting person in the crowd. It's a really good beer after a workout.
It's one of our beer staff's favorite after work beers. It's incredibly refreshing,
Yeah.
easy to drink, and still
Got
kicks a
a
little
little
punch.
bit of a kick.
Yeah, it's got that nice little boom at the
Yeah.
end.
A little like fizz carbonation at the end too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Champagne fizz to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's
That's
not one.
why I like it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's one that you would expect to be 7.2. Like I didn't know that honestly. That's
Wow.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
The best kind of dangerous.
Yeah, we try
So
to keep
good.
that characteristic of most of our beers because as the Belgian styles typically, at least these days, are higher in alcohol, and so it is very important to make sure that that alcohol is not the first and foremost flavor in there. There's so many good flavors, esters, hop aromas or spice aromas. Last thing you need is to be able to light it up with match.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Well, they're definitely very well balanced.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's about all I can say about that guy.
It's-
He's
yeah,
he's a
it's good.
beautiful beer.
Yeah. I feel we're gonna have the same thing. This is good beer over and over again. Right?
Yeah, it's just it is all good beer.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
it's
the
going to be
point, right?
awkward if you don't.
And this one's also okay. No, it's great. I'm just kidding.
We can tolerate this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of an all-year beer.
Yeah.
To be honest, like that would be good in the spring and winter.
I think it'd be good on like Thanksgiving, little cranberry
Yeah.
sauce on my turkey.
Like
Get
one of
that
those
nice
Thanksgiving
coriander.
sandwiches.
Mhm.
Oh, we
Get
had a
that
place in
sweet and
DC
spice.
that had a Thanksgiving sandwich that was bread. It had turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce on it. It was amazing. It was like
Nice.
day after Thanksgiving, or for me, 3 hours after we eat Thanksgiving dinner.
America.
America.
Right on. Well, have you guys had a chance to dive into any of this food? I know I couldn't stay out of
I
the
couldn't either.
PB&J burger. Oh my gosh, it sounds crazy. I mean, I'm a Boilermaker. At Triple X, they have the Dwayne Purvis burger that they put peanut butter and pickles and all this stuff on it. I tried it once; it was okay, but the PB&J, getting that little bit of sweetness from the jelly, really, really nice. It's a great burger, cooked perfectly. Great bread. I'm impressed.
I tried the other one first.
The tenderloin.
Yes.
What'd you think of that?
Delicious.
Yeah.
I was saying, I was like, I'm trying this. I was like, I don't taste PB&J. I must have the other one.
No, the
No, you'll know it.
PB&J is like this is like an adult version of like meat and a PB&J sandwich.
Yeah,
It's
this
like,
is-
this is not nap time PB&J. This is a little bit more elevated than that.
Absolutely. I think this is the dream I had as a child that I never knew I had, to sit down, talk about beer, and eat PB&J on top of red meat. Like, it's just,
Nothing wrong with that.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I had to try it. I hadn't tried it yet. I've been, munching on the fries, and that is just not what I would have expected.
Yeah.
It's a really good food.
Yeah, it
It's
was-
like you taste it and you're going, wait a minute, that's peanut butter. That's jelly.
peanut.
That's a hamburger.
With a burger, yeah, that's great.
Right on.
And it all works. It's so good.
Yeah, it was a great shock. Like, our chef, Joseph Tabor, he's incredibly creative. He comes up with we try to do a rotational menu. And so, of course, this is not what we had on day one. But, he's always done a very good job coming up with really creative, sandwiches and hamburgers in particular. Our entrees are phenomenal, too. But I saw that on the menu originally as we were doing a pilot of it. It's like, oh, really? Oh, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's super good. Like I said, it's not one of those things you would expect or like necessarily, I don't know, but if you have half an inkling to try it, I absolutely recommend it. It's superb.
Yeah, you
the
will not be
meat is
disappointed.
cooked perfectly.
Absolutely.
I'm really picky on if I'm going to a gastropub, I don't want it to be all the way cooked through. I want to taste those natural juices. And they really
know a little bit of pink in the middle.
Yeah, they really know what they're doing in the kitchen. It's perfect.
Absolutely. And do they do specials every day? I see today we've got kale and potato soup, Alfredo shrimp, broccoli linguine for $15, which is a great deal.
Wow.
Steak and oyster sandwich for $15. Fried jalapeno burger, $12. I mean, goodness.
Absolutely.
You guys do that kind of stuff every day?
Roll me out of
usually,
here.
definitely on the weekends and Friday. Usually try to do it on Thursdays as well. They, again, rotating the menu, they always want to make sure that they can try something that they can roll out for the next one. This is kind of their experimental time to try something and see how it's received. And I tell you, I've never had a bad dish. They knock it out of the park every single time.
Right
So-
on.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I agree. It's almost like if you came here and you weren't a beer fan. The food is obviously going to be amazing, so that's perfectly fine. But also the beer's just there's also great beer here, and so. Yeah, so great food, great beer. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, when I was saying when we were walking up, there was a couple downstairs eating dinner, and they each had a glass of wine.
Yep.
Which struck me as strange initially, given that the beer here is so delicious. But that's just what it means. The food is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not untypical. We do offer wine on tap. Actually, we offer Mallow Run. It's our neighborhood winery here, our neighborhood winery, as well as other varieties and their ciders as well. But yeah, that's it's a nice experience because if you come with friends or a spouse that doesn't particularly like beer, but you want to try some things, it's your opportunity because we have something for everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Mallow Run makes some really nice product, too. It's good for you for carrying it. I'll say this. I'm coming back for brunch because I've been told
There's
a million
brunch
times.
menu?
I've been told a million times that the brunch here is one of the best. And I'm a brunch guy. Like I
Yes.
love brunch.
It's the perfect meal.
Exactly. It's breakfast at noon. I mean, what more do
And
you want with
you
booze and coffee?
You can have a little bit of you can have a little bit of lunch. You can have eggs and bacon and all sorts of other delicious breakfast products.
Oh, that's why they call it brunch.
Ah.
Breakfast and lunch.
You learn something new every day.
Thanks for tuning in today, folks, for the educational hour.
The more you know. Da, 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 da.
No, but I imagine you guys do a pretty decent chicken and waffles, being a Belgian joint.
It's a foremost. It's important. I'm actually a little partial to our Benedict, but just because I love hollandaise sauce.
Can't go
but,
wrong with a Benedict.
Yum.
our chicken waffles are to die for, and actually you really can't go wrong on anything on that menu. Typically so we open at 10 a.m. on Sundays, and usually that's if you want to get in, make sure to get a nice relaxed meal, because otherwise you wait till noon or so, it goes. It's quite a popular spot. We'll put it that way.
Right
so.
on.
10 is the time.
10
Okay,
is the
we'll
time.
remember
All
that.
right, so be here at 8 because I'm going to be first in line. Deal with it. Colin,
your
thanks so much for joining us, but I know you got a meeting to get to. It's been a supreme pleasure hanging out with you. Thanks for the tour. Thanks for sitting down and talking to us, brother.
Happy to, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Great.
Wow.
All right.
Right.
I'm ready to try this next one, guys.
Let's do it.
I am too.
This one is the Gold Standard Abbey Blonde Ale. It is, 6.2%, 10 IBU, so it's definitely going to be one of those approachable, super creamy, good ales. It's approachable, crisp, and clean, a light, dry body blend with subtle malt flavors and delicious grassy hops. All right, let's dive into this guy and see what we think while we say hello to Miss Leah. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
Excellent.
Very
Thanks for
good.
joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yes.
Great.
All right, Leah, tell us a little bit about what you do here at Taxman.
So I am one of the owners and as well as the chief operating officer. So that means that I do a lot of things. My main focus is outside sales. So we have a pretty good size team at this point. We have 3 people who are focused on restaurants and bars, and then we have 3 people who are focused on liquor stores and box stores. So the Targets, the Krogers, and then the liquor stores in addition to that. And some drivers.
Right on. Well, I know my buddy Pete. He's my rep up at the 86th Street Pub. Peter, he's a nice guy. I love Peter.
Yeah, Peter's great. I was with him today, actually.
Nice. Hope he was good for you. He's always a good guy to hang out with. I'll tell you what. It's an easy sell when Taxman walks through the door and says, "Hey, this is what we have this week." It's
Give me all of it.
Yeah, exactly. They're all amazing.
Everything.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. This Gold Standard is
Yeah.
super drinkable.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Kind of
yeah.
dangerous.
It's a little lighter than the La Maison. It doesn't have as much spice to it. Makes it more approachable. This is one, honestly, I like to cook with my beer. This is one I would love to
This-
cook with.
It's
This
got
would be
enough
good.
body
Yeah.
to hold up to cooking. I could
Absolutely.
see that.
I would put this in a beer bread.
Oh.
Google it. There are a million recipes.
Yeah.
It takes no extra equipment. You need a spoon. Like, just mix it up. It's super easy. It's a quick hour bake, and I have a feeling this would make it a superbly
Yeah.
good bread.
I can see that.
Yeah,
That
this
would be
might be
awesome.
really good, like in a good hearty stew.
Yeah, I feel like it could still hold up well, even in
Yeah.
like a really long braise type of situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, braised.
We're in
braised.
about in that season.
Yeah,
Braised
this
meat.
is so.
So get a
it's very
growler and
rich.
take it home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Our chef
I mean-
actually does a lot of braising with our beer. So
Nice.
part of the gastropub, we call ourselves a gastropub, and part of the focus is using the beer in the food. So our barbecue sauce has our deduction double in it. It uses the deduction for a lot of braising, Gold Standard, seasonal things. We've even had a local ice cream shop, Pinocchio's, did a bean counter coffee Belgian brown gelato for us.
Bring it to me.
Oh,
Sounds good.
Bring it to me now.
field trip.
Take all of my money.
Take all of my money.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that bean counter.
It's
I mean,
so good.
oh, it's yeah. So my brother came here from Boston, and they bought, I think, like a case of it last year. We're taking all this home with us right now. And so he was excited when I told him it was in cans. So yeah, send me all of it. It's easier to ship cans, so
Yeah.
he's very happy right now.
Though it's illegal to ship beer in the state of Indiana, so I'm assuming you mean yeast samples.
Yeah, yeast
No,
samples.
no. What he did is he sent the
collectible
cans. Yeah, he just sent
there
some
you go.
cans to the guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they're
just cans.
they're just cans.
Yeah, decorative
cans.
ornaments.
Don't know the contents of the cans. I don't know. I didn't open them. I just assumed
No
they were
judgment.
empty.
Yeah,
It was heavy
Sorry.
aluminum. Jeez,
Yeah.
government.
aluminum
Maybe-
samples.
Are you sure you
What?
didn't go to the Illinois or Ohio line and ship them from there? Is that-
I mean,
Perhaps Kentucky.
it is legal to fly with them. So I have packed beer in a suitcase before, which is perfectly
is true.
fine.
Do you have
Yeah.
to put them in baggies?
I do.
That's
Just
what they.
be-
That's what they
That
tell
would be
me
a
about.
wise choice if they
Yeah.
could explode.
Yep, I
Oh, that's
do.
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things
Yep.
I've never thought
Pressurized
about.
containers.
Don't
But
ask, don't tell.
If you're curious, you can actually take as much beer as possible on a plane with you. There's no limit.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Have you found this by trial and error? Or did you like
Yes.
ask?
Yeah. The problem with going to the Northeast so often is that there's so many good breweries up there. Is that I want to take it all back with me. It's like, oh, so let's Google the law on this.
Oh, I was going to say, have
Yeah.
you Googled or have you just not been stopped yet?
I've Googled this. I've done research on this. Yeah, a lot. I have had my bag searched, and it's fine as long as you don't. I mean, as long as it's
Do
beer.
you kindly offer a perhaps sample to a prospective customer?
I mean, if they want
Here,
to,
Mr.
go for
TSA
it.
guy.
It's a good way to expand the product. Okay, here's this. Try this beer from Indiana.
Expand the brand.
Now, is this? Now, I hate to derail this, but is this like carry-on or check baggage?
Check bags.
Okay, all
Yep.
right. I was
Yeah.
thinking like,
I
what's
can't
the- how do
even
you get
put
around
like
carry-on?
Yeah.
saline for my contacts
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
carry-on
Yeah.
bag, so there's no way beer's coming on
Yeah.
a plane.
When you fly Southwest with 2 free bags.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Two
Load it
free
up.
bags
Agreed.
of
Yeah.
beer.
Agreed.
All right, folks, you heard it here first. Next time you travel out of state, make sure you pick up a case of Taxman beer to take with you.
There you go.
And Southwest because you get 2 free bags.
Yeah.
There you
Lots
go.
of direct flights out of Indy too.
We actually just got back from Great American Beer Festival yesterday.
Oh, how was that?
That's why my voice, I was telling them earlier, it's extra sexy today because of all the talking.
Very
It's like,
Kathleen
hello.
Turner.
Yeah.
Sultry.
Hey.
G-rated. We gotta keep it G-rated.
Oh, sorry. Very attractive. And so we were packing our bags. We had purchased a bunch of beer from Colorado to bring back. And Colin taught us, you should have asked him about his technique, but apparently your socks, like if you put your socks in and then you flip it down, it like makes the perfect little package for shipping your bottles back.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I think his socks
Good
were
idea.
dirty. So
Dirty beer.
This is why new tube socks are always important.
yeah.
Or thick dress socks.
Yes.
Good point.
Either way. All right, I'm ready to move on to this next beer. I don't know about you guys.
What do we got?
I think we're having the exemption triple next. Save that deduction for Laz, the nice dark guy. This triple is, let's see, grab my paper.
I do love all of the names and how they're all like that accounting, finance, tax themed.
Absolutely. We were talking to Colin about, where the inspiration comes from, and he said, well, a lot of beer, a lot of time, a lot of trial and error in Google. Sounds about right.
So my background is in brand and marketing a little bit as well as sales, and so naming conventions are really important to me, and I wanted something that, like, when you see the name,
Like, oh, it's got to be Taxman.
Yeah.
It's
true.
great.
From a branding and marketing perspective, you guys, have one of the most recognizable logos in the state.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And your theming across all of your different brands is just immaculate. Like, oh, that's Taxman. I want that.
Yeah.
Also,
It's like, I don't know what it is yet, but I know it's them, and I know I want it.
Yeah.
No, it's
I see
gonna
that
be
tap
good.
handle with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also just the social media
Yeah.
presence is also phenomenal. Yeah. Being able to say, like, guess what? Where's Taxman? With the which I love that as well.
Thank you.
Very
Yeah,
cool. That's
good.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I think it's really neat to be able to interact with people in the immediate time frame.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Good stuff on
Yeah.
Twitter. All right. This exemption triple is 8.5% and 30 IBUs, so nice and light on the bitterness. Again, keeping true to that Belgian style. Crisp lemon, orange peel, and coriander spices with flavorful Belgian esters. White wheat, oat, Belgian malts contribute to a moderate body. Let's give this a try here. I'm a huge fan of triples. So
Likewise.
is my girlfriend. It's super drinkable style, in moderation, of course, being 8.5%. You got to watch yourself, but it's super good. Good
Yeah.
enough for an Uber.
That style. I wish there were more triples
Yes.
around Indianapolis. You don't see many of them. Which I mean,
You got a couple of your standbys that you find everywhere, but
but that
when you see this
Oh,
guy,
that is solid.
Yeah, that's pretty much on my to-go list or go to.
To drink?
Yes. So if
And
I,
to go.
Yeah,
You can
and
get
to
it
go,
to go.
and all the above. So if I'm in a bar, restaurant, anything, if I see exemption, I'm usually going to get it. Also, I have friends that just love that clove, kind of banana Belgian taste to it. So it's, I usually, if I see that, it's like, this is my recommendation for you guys. Get the triple from a Taxman.
It's very good.
I think it's a very approachable style. It's one that everyone can enjoy. Your hopheads, if you can convince them to try something that's not bitter.
Which can be a task in and of itself.
True, but you get a triple, you get that full mouth feel, that great body, a little bit of sweetness, all that complex fruit in there.
Yeah.
When you start to dive in and kind of explore all those flavors, get those aromas, and really look at the beer, a lot of people find that has a lot more flavor than your typical super hoppy IPA.
Yeah, the complexity of the flavors, just when you keep drinking it, you taste a little bit something different
Every
each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
When you talk about gateway beers, and people don't think about how you can have a gateway from like something super hoppy to something slightly less hoppy but more complex. You think of like Gold Standard is a great gateway beer from something maybe more domestic.
Yeah.
But triple can be a great gateway beer from
yeah.
the IPA styles.
Yeah, there's certainly different levels of gateways, and not every gateway beer is for a beer novice or someone who doesn't, traditionally isn't a beer drinker. So, I can appreciate that. That's really good.
Even going back to Gold Standard, that's a great gateway beer. But it's also delicious for like somebody like me that drinks a lot of different kind of beers throughout not Indiana, but really throughout the United States. And so I taste that, like, this is also delicious. So I know it can get people hooked on to more craft beers, but I will drink that any day.
For sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a very, there's different layers to it. After each sip, I'm just finding more and more things to pick out. It's got a
Sure.
really nice richness, almost, I wouldn't even say chewy. What would you call it? It's not,
It's just full-bodied. It's
That mouthfeel is just very.
it's
present.
solid, but it's
Yeah.
not a heavy aftertaste at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Very,
correct
very clean aftertaste to it. Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, Leah. Jordan, you probably might know a little better than I, assuming I'm wrong. But triples, when you look at Belgian beers, you've got singles, doubles, triples, quads, and the higher you go up, it's larger malt profiles where you get that higher alcohol content. When you get that, you got to balance it with a lot of different flavors. So that's where you're going to find a lot of that complexity, is just because there's so much more in it. It's a harder brew. It's a longer brew. It's a lot of work to make a good quality triple and quad. Even a double, just in the doubles, you see a ton of variety in just quality, and it's impressive and awesome that you guys do it so well, so consistently year round.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I mean, it definitely helps you guys stand out, I think, because you don't see, I mean, you see people occasionally have a Belgian style beer on tap, but not when it's totally focused on it. Especially not when it's focused on it doing very well. I mean, the style is pretty much true to style, which even you see here in Bargersville. It's not Belgium, but it's still, the style is perfect. So, yes, I love doubles and triples. I mean, my favorite styles of beer, so I'm a big fan of this place.
Heck yeah.
I don't know if Colin covered the fact that we lived in Belgium. Did he talk about that at all?
He did.
Okay,
He mentioned
so-
that in the tour, and he mentioned a little bit, on the air.
Perfect.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Belgium? He
Yeah.
just said you were there.
What took you there?
Well, I was drunk a lot of the time.
Nice.
Just kidding.
Fair.
I'm kidding. So we lived in Belgium for almost 3 years, and we lived in the downtown Brussels area. And Nathan,
Brussels.
yeah,
Love Brussels.
Oh my gosh! Between the chocolate and the beer, you can't, and
you
the
can't go
frites,
wrong.
you cannot
Yeah.
go wrong. And so Nathan did international taxes for a living, and that's what took us to Belgium. He was with
Another
It
connection.
all makes sense.
there it is, yeah.
There
One of
you
the big
go.
4 accounting firms, and they said, "Hey, do you want to take a assignment abroad?" And he turned to me, his girlfriend at the time, said, "Hey, do you want to move to Belgium?" And I said, "Hey, you want to get married first?"
I bet he said yes. Did he say yes?
said, "You wanna-
Wow,
you
look at
like
that
you-"
bling. Goodness, shines more than my beard. Goodness.
Is that beard oil you got
That is.
there?
I make my own. We're not going to talk about it, but that is a
We've
shiny
talked about
piece
that
of
in a
bling.
previous podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we moved to Belgium for 3 years, and we were craft beer lovers before that. Nathan homebrewed. I had worked in industry, so I was all about the craft beer. Kind of brought us together, and we went to every single brewery you can go to. We had the Good Beer Guide to Belgian Beers. Tim Webb, he led us through Belgium and allowed us just to really get to know the styles. But it was great because you would go to the tiny little breweries in the middle of nowhere. They had excellent food as well. The brewer would be sitting there, and he'd take time to sit, talk to you, explain his concept of why they're doing the beers, and really allowed to give us a special insight into the Belgian styles.
What was your favorite Belgian brewery?
I really
Is
love.
it hard to pick one? Because, they're all pretty much amazing.
Yeah,
It
they're
depends, like
Yeah.
which style. I love
Yeah.
De Dole. De Dole does some beautiful, big Belgian styles. They do the raisins, the caramelized malt. But then if you want something sour, Three Fontaine has always
Yeah.
been a big favorite of mine. So there's just, you cannot go wrong. They're all
Yeah.
doing such great beer.
That's for sure, yeah. And they're all like 300 years old. Like, it's all family passed down.
Yeah.
So I see occasionally, you'll see on Facebook or social media, oh, well, this guy has been brewing for 40 years. He's like a rock star who just hangs out at his brewery that you can go talk to.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredibly jealous that you can talk to that guy if you live there. But the whole idea that it's a kind of a family thing there is a really big idea there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
very cool. Right now we are passing around our final dish of the evening. It is.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah. Is it good? I haven't had a chance to try it yet. It's
my
a,
Lanta.
It's a pork belly. Ladies, do you,
You
need,
know
do
it's
you need-
good.
Okay.
We might need a minute here.
It's a pork belly entree served with corn scallions, pork broth, mushroom, togarashi grits, radish salad. I cut off a small piece for myself.
Dang,
it
is
seems
it good.
very tender. Why don't you ladies tell me about it while I indulge?
It's one of those, like, you barely even need a knife.
You don't need a knife. I kind of feel silly that I used a knife and fork. I was like, I should have just picked it up with my fingers, but we're
This
we're
is
sharing.
comfort food.
This is good for the winter. This is good for any time.
Let's be
It
fair,
is
yes.
very, very tender,
Melts in your
rich,
mouth.
and buttery. Very melts in your mouth. And the grits were awesome.
It's got a lot of complexity of like a little bit of spice or nutmeg or cinnamon or something in there. It's really tasty. It balances that fatty content of the pork quite well.
Yeah, it's not fatty at all. It just has that rich kind of drippy fat that's just so indulgent. So I could definitely see like one of these beers, like really, especially like the first one that we had,
La
the
Maison?
La Maison.
the La Maison,
Yeah.
like really cutting the fat and
Absolutely.
richness to
really
it.
complimentary.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
I'm going to taste it with a little bit of this triple. See how it rolls. I think that the sweetness
Spoiler
of the triple.
alert, it's delicious.
Is it delicious?
Yes.
Lindsay
I don't want
ruined
to
it for
spoil
me.
you, but
I am so spoiled today, guys.
I just couldn't wait to finish the triple. I'm in beer purgatory right now. I'm in between.
Joe's not normally the guy to just boom, boom, boom through them, and all three of his glasses are empty. If that tells you anything,
You're right.
folks.
Yeah.
I
These
do
glasses are
savor them
delicious.
slowly,
It's
and
delicious.
tonight it's just been hard to do that.
Yeah, The deduction is awesome if you're really being super indulgent. It really brings out a different flavor in the deduction.
That's the
Exemption?
exemption. Yeah,
The
that's a
second
triple.
one?
Gold
The
standard.
second one was the gold standard.
Okay, the gold standard then. My bad.
Yeah,
It's delicious.
Really, you can't go wrong with whatever
Yeah.
beer you choose to pair with this one.
Like you said, the names are kind of, if you're not familiar, you just know it's Taxman. One of these tax names. And what I thought was amazing was that it didn't come out. We're kind of questioning where the name come from, where the logo come from, and when you mentioned one of the big four tax firms, I thought, oh well, there it is. So I have to ask now: have you had the loophole? Have you created a loophole?
Ooh. It's on the list. It's on the list. We've got some names that are like when the time comes.
Waiting for the right beer.
Should I not have mentioned that? I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm secretly writing it down right now.
So you have
What else do you have over there?
a registered trademark already ready for that one, huh?
Shoot, we've been trying to catch up on that. Actually, the trademarking is quite a process, and it gets to be a lot of work. I don't have to do that part, thankfully.
Well, if you need more ideas, I do work for beer.
Oh.
So that's a good.
Let's talk offline.
I prefer the barter system.
Don't we all?
That sounds
Don't
great.
we all?
There we go.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's just good.
All right.
That is I feel like I want to have that like when there's just a slight bit more of a chill in the air, not snow
Yeah.
yet, but like in front of a fire or something.
Absolutely.
Be at home, like just eating that, like just all
Oh
night.
yeah, just like out
Yeah.
of like a not even a box, but more
Yeah.
like a tub.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yep.
For sure.
Just a tub with like a serving spoon.
No shame.
No shame at
all.
all.
That one.
No shame.
We have a-
Sweatpants. God, I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
We have a family, German dish that we like to use. We call it filthy noodles, but that's not really the name. I think this will be a close second if we, adopted this in our family. So this is good.
Yeah.
It's really
Well,
good.
I'll say
What's
this.
in filthy noodles?
I'd
Yes,
have to ask
describe.
my wife. I
Okay.
can't remember what it is, but I can
You're
I
not
can
the one
share
that
the
makes it.
recipe.
Whatever it is, it's filthy. I'll tell you what though, that presentation on that pork belly was A, beautiful, and B, sizable. Like
Yes.
that's
Oh my God.
quite a meal and reasonably
like-
priced too.
That's like a two-person.
Yeah, you
Could be, but I would not be willing to share.
You're just
So,
like,
yeah, is that-
I'm taking it home.
Yeah.
I'm
All
not
mine.
sharing.
Do you just want to get an appetizer and like split an entree?
entree.
Yeah. Ooh, the pork belly sounds good. I will cut you.
Is
can
that
have
the,
all
Keep
the
the fork
appetizers.
down.
is that the standard dish? Is that what you would receive if you were coming in off the street, ordering that dish?
I mean, we did not make it special for you guys, if that's what you're
Okay,
asking.
I didn't know if the portion size was different.
Nope,
or,
that's it.
That's
That's
a
straight
huge.
up.
That is fantastic.
huge
That's a
portion.
great size.
Man,
It's huge.
so good.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know about you guys. I'm ready to dive into this deduction a little
right.
bit. Deduction being their double.
Describe this one to us.
Alrighty, I think I will. This is an 8%er, 20 IBUs. It's rich, malty grain build, delivering dark fruit aromas, a touch of sweetness from the Belgian candy sugar. Again, when
Which
we
we saw.
yeah, we took a little tour of the brew house back there and saw that beet sugar, like five
different kinds?
Loony.
It's like life's nectar.
I know. I am. I never knew I liked beets until today. Like I decided I liked beets. I've had the deduction before, and like I said, it's one of the best doubles I think I've ever had, like hands down, like really.
Oh, we
It's
did not even
super
pay
good.
him to say that.
No, I'm not being. I'm
Yeah.
I'm with Joe. I get
Legit.
paid in beer
Yeah.
and food. I'm
Yeah.
good.
I actually bought one of these on my way in and thought, this has got to be the beer that I like. And sure enough, it was just my style. It was just my
awesome.
style.
The-
We just released a cherry version of this too, so we do
I saw that on the
What?
menu.
Yeah.
I know, right?
The Brewmaster
Right?
series, it allows us to take some liberties on some of our house styles. So deduction is one that gets to be played with a lot. And we have a sour cherry version coming up in
Interesting.
a few
There
weeks.
you
but
go. There
Yeah.
you go.
this is the regular cherry.
If only you could see my face right now. It just broke into the biggest smile.
I'm gonna let Lindsay come back to sours after
Yeah.
we've tried this
Oh, my
deduction
God.
because she has had just
Oh,
she's
man.
been elated the
I have
entire
been so
time we've
happy
been
the whole
here
time.
to talk about the sours. Went to the sour room. She was stoked.
Oh,
but right now, I
yeah.
want to talk about
Awesome.
this deduction a little bit.
And then there was a blackberry version of this as well. Was that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was
I-
part of the
okay.
Brewmaster
Wow.
series.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I love doubles. I mean, it's one of my favorite styles. I wish there was more of them out there. I mean, you have that like nice raisin caramel toffee taste to it, and it's like it's one of those beers that you want to drink like all fall because it's getting kind of nice and cold outside. It's like, okay, I want to have this beer. It's gonna warm me up. Yeah, so I love this beer. It's my favorite beers around here.
I want to try this beer at like room temperature. I just, I want to let it sit here and let it I'm kind of cupping it with my hand, trying to warm it up a little bit just to see what that would be like.
I bet it would. Some of the flavors would open up. I mean, it is awesome. This is what I want for Valentine's Day. If you're listening in, Mr.
Somewhere out there,
Levacious,
Mr. Right.
this is what I want. Forget the box of candy.
Yeah. It's like I was saying to Lolo, sort of back from the microphone. It's like a dessert. Like it's like that. This is like the perfect dessert where it's rich, it's full, great mouthfeel, not overwhelming in any one flavor, which is really nice.
It's like all these beers, it's been incredibly well balanced. You get that
Perfectly
fruitiness, those little spices in there. It's a good. It's dark, but not overly so.
It's
heavy.
dark
It
in
doesn't
a
taste
wine.
dark.
Like if you could think of the darkest wine you could think of, that is it. It is really
like a
it's
super
dark.
dark red.
I would say
it's a
it's port
deceiving
dark.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is very port
dark.
Yeah, it is not heavy at all, like what I was expecting. This is a very drinkable beer. This is for somebody that doesn't necessarily like dark beers.
Yes.
Like I know several people that they're just like, no, it's dark. It's going to be too heavy. They would drink this blindfolded and just want more and more and more. It is awesome.
So agreed.
It's one of the great fallacies of beer. It's dark. It's going to be heavy. No.
That's why you blindfold them.
Exactly.
We're going to try you.
Yeah, it's always my goal at festivals is to push people away from their thought processes on things. And, a lot of people say, oh, I don't like dark beers. And I think they're expecting a stout or something roasted and that bitterness that comes from the porter stout concept. And I'm like, just try it. You know, you're a wine drinker. Okay, try this. Because, again, you're right. It does have that similar complexity. And
if you're a red wine drinker, like if you like a Merlot or a really super dark, rich.
This reminds me a lot of a Syrah with the spicy content
Yes.
to it.
Yes. I was going to say like maybe a little cabby, but definitely a
thinking
Syrah
like
with that
Tempranillo
middle.
style. Yeah.
Is there a Syrah barrel down there? Because this is a Syrah barrel.
we do have some really nice wine barrels next door that will be be getting some deduction for sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I'm very happy.
So Lindsay, do you need some friendship during the winter time?
I know.
Close by?
Clearly, I will be
Do you
here
have a spare
more often.
floor we could
I
crash on?
do. I have, let's see, one bedroom that's currently being used as an office, one bedroom that actually has a bed in it, and one bedroom that currently houses the cat. Don't ask me why we got a house with 4 bedrooms when it's me, my husband, the dog, and the cat.
I'll
The
sleep with the
cat
cat.
needs a room.
She's very
I
cuddly.
bet.
Right on.
She's
I'm
extremely
in.
cuddly, but so is the dog. Usually not together. That's a life goal of mine. You have no idea, to get my 70-pound pit bull and my 12-pound middle-aged cat to snuggle.
They do it when you're gone.
I've been so close.
They do it when you're gone.
They've gone tail to tail before.
I heard about this pit bull. It's like a lap pit bull.
He is a lap pit bull. He enjoys being a lap dog. He's a 70-pound American Staffordshire Terrier, which I love also that you guys have a dog-friendly patio.
And a kid-friendly
And
environment.
kid-friendly.
This is
Yeah.
awesome.
That's new.
Yeah, one.
we haven't had
Mandy
that before.
from that works with Johnny here. Her son's running around here, and Darren, who I work with, he brought the kids up, and it's awesome. This is it's not often you can come enjoy very fine, I would say adult beverages, and great food, and it's a family-friendly environment. This is
for both
great.
fur kids and human kids.
And it's I will say it's
all babies.
All babies.
It's a tidbit of a drive from Indianapolis, but it's really really worth it.
Yeah.
It's probably the furthest out we've been in this in this brew battle, but I would say that it's definitely worth it. And what's great is there are a lot of people who live in the outlying towns around Indianapolis, and I think that's probably what's awesome about this place. You could make it to it's a destination. It truly is a destination.
Absolutely.
My husband and I have ridden the motorcycle out here a couple of times.
Great.
Nice.
I mean, it serves kind of almost like an anchor, like neighborhood type
Yeah.
thing. And you're seeing more and more of that in breweries, where they're neighborhood breweries,
Yeah.
where you're
It's
just
like
not.
that old neighborhood pub pre-prohibition
exactly.
feeling.
We're going back to that, where
Yeah.
it's. I mean, obviously, Taxman is distribution, but you have some places that don't do that at all, and you come here. Come to the brewery and enjoy it. I mean, that's the feeling we get when you're here, is that this is a neighborhood brewery. This is like Bargersville's brewery.
And what I think is great is that you've embraced the original architecture, a little bit of this building, and of course the firehouse, which is not really a public place, but you still you haven't altered much, and you're making use of other businesses that were built here in the history here. I was just talking to a friend of mine, came and met me here. There was a machine shop right down the road. He says, we use that machine shop. Just a lot of connections here. This is really great. And I was curious, what made you choose Bargersville?
So we live actually 7 minutes up the road. When we moved here, my husband had been recruited by Cummins Diesel Engine Company in Columbus, and I knew my opportunities were probably in Indianapolis. So Greenwood was a middle point, which we picked from a map. And
We did that too.
it's crazy, your future, like, okay, this looks good. And there just wasn't a whole lot for us to do. There were some places we checked out, but it wasn't quite the vibe we were looking for. And so we kept home brewing, and nope, we didn't have kids, and we still don't have kids, and so finding friends wasn't the easiest thing in the world.
Preach.
Right? Yeah. So, so our thought was, okay, if you build it, they will come. So we built what we thought it should be, and we knew since it was a destination that food had to be, as important as the beer. So yeah, the family-friendly thing, and we're dog lovers. We have 2 beautiful Boston Terriers who stink up the office,
God,
I saw some doggy beds in the firehouse.
I don't know anything about that. Yeah, that's
in the
cool
office
thing.
area.
Yeah.
In the office area.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, they come to work with us, and it's been really nice. So we're definitely family-friendly, dog-friendly, and that's why we chose the spot. We're up right up the street.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
Awesome. I've got to say, with it being a family-friendly place, you're really expanding the palates of all these kids that visit. They're not going
Teach
to
them what
just
good
want.
food is.
They're just like, where's my PB&J
Burger.
PB&J burger.
There you go.
Burger.
Why are you just giving me a regular burger?
Where's my
amazing
pork
food
belly
now.
and those delicious grits?
It's funny how many people I know that tell me that this is their kid's favorite restaurant, and I don't know what to think of
That's
that
awesome.
sometimes, but I think
That means
it's
our kids
awesome.
have good taste.
Right.
And good
Yeah.
customers. That's what that means.
They were
Right.
raising those kids right.
Proper.
Yeah.
I'll say.
No chicken nuggets for those kids.
They're like, I would like pork belly for dinner, Mom, over grits.
Get on that with the radish salad.
Right, make it happen.
Chop chop.
Yeah, I have my son, one of our experiences in traveling for work, we went to a restaurant, and my son said, I'll have the lobster and the shrimp, and I think I'll try some mussels. And, the server looked and said,
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
are you sure about that? You better ask your parents. And I said, I'm buying tonight. It's not on the company. I will, if he doesn't eat it, I'll eat it. And, that's the type of experience I think you should raise children in, and introducing kids to this type of food. This is very, very, very flavorful, very diverse, food that you have here is awesome.
And nuanced as well. Like everything I've eaten, it just has its own signature. Somebody, it's Indiana. You're gonna have, tenderloin everywhere, but this is a Taxman.
Not this tenderloin.
Not
This
Not
is
this
great.
one.
Good.
The
Yeah.
breading, the way it's cooked. I mean, everything. It's just very unique.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of rare sometimes to find such a high caliber brewery to also have
Super high caliber
super
food.
high caliber food as well.
One of the things that was really important to us when we opened the restaurant was the farm to table concept. So almost every single protein you're tasting is coming from a local Indiana farm
really?
who is practicing sustainable sourcing. So
Awesome.
Bravo.
same with our produce. We have an organic heirloom farm that we work with where we get a majority of our vegetables. So that's something that's really important, and I think that you taste the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I feel ashamed that I didn't know that. This is awesome. This is great.
I mean, your prices were reasonable before I knew that.
Now they're really
Now they're-
reasonable.
Prices
now,
are
I,
amazing.
now I want to talk to you after the show about how exactly you do that.
It's kind of crazy.
I think we need to talk to
pants.
your
It's
tax
amazing.
man.
There you go. The loophole. That's where it's all coming
That's the
from.
loophole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it's coming from. So I'm coming from the DC area. So when we're talking farm to table and brewery, we're talking price points, a solid $10 above, double above. So seeing this
Absolutely.
caliber of, yes, there's the cost of living's different, but seeing this caliber of food and beer at this price point is absolutely fantastic. You can't beat it.
That's great.
You can't beat it at all.
Heck yeah.
Wow, that explains a pork belly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why
That's what I'm
it's so
saying.
good.
When it's good, it's good,
It's a
and
local
you know it.
happy Indiana pig.
I know,
For sure.
I know. That makes me happy. And, I have a lot of friends that are concerned about sustainability, and they do make those choices with their dollars of where they choose to eat, where they choose to drink. And so having a cool little day road trip sort of thing and just hang out here literally
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
day
Not even
outside.
Yeah, that patio is beautiful.
Sunday brunch on the patio,
Beautiful patio.
That's
is
what I'm saying.
perfect.
I'm-
Yeah.
And the
I'll be
weather's
here
been
at 8
holding
o'clock.
we'll
I know
meet
you
here at
open
8.
at 10, but I'm going to be here at 8.
Could be a line. You never know.
You're gonna camp out.
I'll be at
yeah.
the front
Or
of
we
it.
I'm
could
fine
be
with that.
here on Lindsay's couch
You could be
with
on
her
my
cat.
couch with the
Saturday
cat, possibly the
night.
dog. Not on the couch though, on the bed. 'Cause
With
he's
the
not
dog.
allowed
On
on
the
the
bed.
couch.
with
on
the
the
dog
bed.
on your lap.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we could
We can bring the
come
dog.
over here at 8 in the morning
Yes.
and camp out and
There you
wait.
I
go.
think that's a good post. We're having the final episode at 86th Street Pub. I think that would be a good post convention. Have it
Right.
at your house.
Yes.
Road trip
There
it
you go.
is. I'm down.
Happy to host. And for those that, for some reason, if you are done with beer, we do have quite a fully stocked bar, I will say.
Good to know.
Excellent.
Well, Leah, thank you so much for joining us. Before you leave, are there anything upcoming here at the brewery? Any upcoming events, art shows? I mean, the art around here is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's great.
We're very fortunate to get to work with local artists to highlight their work. Next event we have on the calendar would be October 29th. We're doing a Halloween party here. Our Halloween parties are pretty casual, but they're really fun. It's just a costume contest. We have special brewery tours. I said that, and we were planning this, and I said that in the office, and I laughed for like 3 minutes straight, and no one else laughed.
We got you. No
Thank
worries.
you.
That was
I
a good
appreciate
pun.
That was
And
good. I like
it'll
that.
just be really fun. We'll do some prizes and stuff, but people really get into it, and it's just a really nice time to come hang out with us.
That
Right
sounds
on.
fantastic. Well, since I'm I will offer at my house. You might
What
not
is
know
the
this
cat
yet.
dressing
You heard it
as
here
this
first,
year?
folks.
You heard it here.
Lindsay
Hey,
says
hey,
you
now
can
for
come
it.
at her house and then go to
And
Taxman.
snuggle with the dog, and then come down to Taxman's costume party.
I just need a place to crash after Taxman.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
We've got couches. We do have an air mattress. We've got extra spare bed. So it depends. I mean, if you want to call the bed first, you can.
Dibs on bed.
I mean, I'll sleep in a grain bin
Dolan.
next door.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
That's fine.
I
That.
did see an RV parked over there once.
Okay.
We're good.
Nice.
Right on. That's
We could also do
they
that.
know what they're doing. Well, Leah, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Thanks for having us. And I know I'll be back soon. I'm sure
Yeah.
Lindsay will be back
Absolutely.
soon.
Yes,
what
I
a
will.
gem.
Yeah.
What a
Thank you
gem.
guys.
It's been
Thanks
a
so much for
supreme
wanting
pleasure.
to do this here. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. we
man,
got about
guys.
5 minutes left.
This is
Any
so good.
any final thoughts?
5 minutes. I mean, it like
flew by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Really, yeah.
crazy.
How are we
Oh,
almost
man.
done?
I think I had too many of those darn. What was it?
Those
Deduction?
deductions, the
Deductions.
doubles,
God, that-
they'll sneak up on you.
Deduction.
Deduction. That's such a good beer. I mean, deduction.
And what a good name.
Yeah.
It
you know,
deducted
yeah,
time
exactly.
from my brain.
I mean, all across the board, they're all good. I mean, I've never had anything that's been less than good here. It's all good beer. They're qualified. All the barrel aged stuff is amazing. Their Death and Taxes is one of the best beers I've had in a while. Their vanilla bourbon barrel stout.
Their sours
I mean,
are
this
off
is,
the
he's
chain.
just naming names, but if you come in the front door and you look
Yeah.
towards your right as you walk in the bar, there are 24 beer names
Yeah.
that are all theirs
on tap.
Yeah.
on tap.
It's
Try them.
The difficulty of trying to narrow
It's
down
fair
which one to
want.
try first.
Yeah.
That's why-
I had a very worried look on my face.
Yeah.
I was worrying the bartender. I was like, I don't know where to start. I don't know.
What do you choose?
I would definitely
So
be
many
sending
good
people
Start
here.
at the
Yeah,
beginning.
This is the place. The,
Yeah.
the food, the beer. I will
Yeah.
be sending loads of people here.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
I
Oh,
mean, you
absolutely.
can just point at the board like, I want that one, whatever it is. Close your eyes and
Just
point,
select.
and it's gonna
Yeah.
be good.
Just pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bartender's
Bartender's
choice.
choice.
I really
Yeah.
like these little flight glasses that they have
These
too.
are
They're
really
little,
cute.
they're
They're
little
kind of
tulip
adorable.
glasses.
And I
They're
believe
just adorable.
if I remember from last time I was here, these are the glasses they serve when you want to sort of try the sample sizes when it's like the
Yeah, the-
$3, $2.
Yeah, they have
Pours.
4-ounce samples for
Yes.
$2.50
Yes.
for most of these.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is,
Couple
I mean,
for
and
$3.
it's
Wow.
a decent size, and you really get a good
Yeah.
idea of what you're. So if you're not a beer drinker, like I initially was, but believe me, after living in Indiana now with craft beers, I am totally turned. It is a great way to try some new stuff for a extremely affordable price.
Definitely.
Yeah, and because I collect glassware, because I am insane, I have 200 glasses in my house.
You're
I
that guy?
Yes,
You're
I am
that
that guy. My cabinets are just full of just beer glasses. I
Nice.
have
Love it.
one of these glasses. I also have one of their wine glasses, which they serve a lot of the barrel aged glasses in. So big,
Right on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fit in your
awesome.
pocket, huh?
See, I was just thinking that I was the only one that had like all of the beer festival, and there was the Indie Canvitational the other
Right.
weekend.
Yeah.
They had like a little beer mug glass.
I have
the
way too
beer,
many.
the Bacon and Beer Fest that was here last year
Yes.
had a ceramic red, like sample size solo cup.
That's
Nice.
perfect.
I wish they would bring that back because that was easily the best thing I have ever been to. Indiana
Great.
beers, and every single food item had bacon in it.
Can dig. Nothing wrong with
Yum.
that. Hopefully they bring this pork belly because
I know.
goodness.
It's out of this
Oh,
world.
man.
Out of this world.
Yeah.
It was, like you said, melt in your mouth. I mean, it's such a comfort food.
good.
I'd like to just go ahead and throw in, if you're not here for Taxman for their fun costume contest on the 29th, definitely check out Angel Burlesque's. They've got their Stranger Thongs Halloween show at the 5th quarter. You can go to angelburlesque.com to go ahead and reserve your tickets. It may sell out this year, so definitely we've
Move
got
quick,
VIP
folks.
tickets with a lot of fun stuff, so check it out, angelburlesque.com.
Right on. Lindsay, any final thoughts?
All right, I've got two fun things. I've got if you're a weightlifter type person like me, we've got a fun Olympic weightlifting clinic, Olympic weightlifting series, a 6-week class over at Indy South CrossFit over at 37 in Smith Valley. 6 weeks. If you're a member of our gym and you're listening, fantastic. My Facebook posts have worked. That's included in your membership. If you're not a member but you would like to learn how to snatch and clean and jerk,
Nice.
it's $50 for a 6-week series, which I'm excited about because I'm terrible at those lifts. I like the just lifting heavy weight off the floor and back down.
Pick it up, put it down.
Pick it up, put it down. My
There you
cardio
go.
is I pick it up and put it down faster. Also, the Indie Pole Dance and Fitness over on our west side location at 6450 West 10th Street. We're having our October showcase on October 22nd at 8 p.m.
Very
Which I'm
cool.
excited for that. I will be freestelling that entire routine because I do not have time to choreograph.
Nice.
Right on.
be
Joe,
fun.
any final thoughts?
This is a great place to come. This is great food, great beer, awesome beer. I would put a plug in for Brickyard Ceramics and Crafts. All of your ceramic and craft needs. 6060 Guyan Road. Come check us out and look for our gallery openings. I think we might have one on November 4th at Amico, American Art Clay Company. That's my employer. That's all I have.
Right on. Jordan?
Once again, thanks to Taxman here for sure. Friday is the Day of Change. We're on McDonald House Charities Day of Change, Central Indiana. I'm involved with it. So go to McDonald's, donate your change. It really helps out kids in need, families in need, battling cancer around Indianapolis. So that's my plug tonight.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Merritt?
First, I want to say how jealous I am of all you guys and this delicious pork belly dish sitting in front of me. It looks amazing.
I'm
How
sure we
was
can
it?
find a fork. It's super
You can
good.
use mine. It's
And I'm
okay.
so glad that you guys are down at my neck of the woods and got to check out this little gym. I love Bargersville, and they're doing great things for the community. They contribute in every festival that we have and every small business around here. Just they come together so well, and they've done so much for the community and for the schools. They've really put Bargersville on the map. Before, if I told somebody that I lived in Bargersville, they're gonna be like, "Where?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, where Taxman is now." So it's awesome, and I love them. They're another one of our great clients, and we love it here at Taxman. So
Absolutely.
It's good.
It's such a beautiful brewery.
It really is.
Yes.
Getting here during the day, I love a place with good natural light during the day. But all these little like Edison lights that they have around are just they're amazing. I love the rustic feel of the place. Superb. I will be back for sure.
Yes.
Again, as Lola said, if you're not at the Stranger Thongs or down here in Bargersville for the Halloween party Friday,
plug.
Yeah.
They can share my house too. So if there's too many,
There we
That-
go.
oh.
you can take the overflow and you can walk to
There
my
you go,
house.
folks.
There we go.
We're making it a party now. I guess nobody's going to come to the pub on the 29th for our Halloween party.
Brit is it.
We'll have all kinds of good beer on
This
tap.
is just closer.
It is closer for you.
And me.
There are North Siders that listen to the show, I assume. Anyway, folks, come see us at 86th Street Pub. We've got La Maison every day in cans. Absolutely love having them. Put them on tap as much as I can. Shout out to my man Pete, my sales rep. He's a good dude. And once again, thanks to Taxman. Thanks for having us. And from all of us here at Indie Brew Battle,
Spectacular.
Cheers.
Awesome.
see you.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.